Sanjeev Kotnala. I have got his batchmate, Mr. Prasanna Khemaria, who will introduce him briefly, and then Mr. Sanjeev will take over. He is a 1985 batch, and over to Mr. Prasanna to introduce his batchmate, Mr. Sanjeev.
Well, thank you. It's an honor and privilege to introduce Sanjeev, and I will not take much of time. But it's very difficult to, tell about Sanjeev in a very short span of time. So I leave this to Sanjeev. Sanjeev is my from my batchmate. We were the first batch of 4 years degree course, and Sanjeev was topper of our batch. We always, whenever we tried to outsmart him, we never succeeded. And Sanjeev has a long journey from CAE Jabalpur to IIM Ahmedabad, then from joining his first job at STA, and then moving up to DNA. And now I would say Sanjeev has a great authority. He's very creative, great authority and brand equity. In the process, I think Sanjeev himself has become a brand. And Sanjeev Kotnala himself is an institution. He's very creative. He's a very good writer. He's a very good critic. And apart from that, he's Yaro ka Yar. I was fortunate enough to have friendship with him right from the beginning, from my first day in the college. We used to spend time in Sadar Coffee House on many tea stalls. So I will just stop here, and it's over to Sanjeev. It's your day. Thank you very much.
Is my audio on? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay. So I will just take a few seconds to set it up the and my slide is on, I think. And you can see the slide correctly.
Yes, it's there.
Okay. So thank you, Prasanna, for telling me a bit more about me. And let me ask the organizer and the moderator behind to give me a warning whenever there are 2 minutes of my time left, and we will ensure that we are within it. Okay, so this is my world. This is the way I am. So I am actually by profession a brand and marketing consultant. I do claim to write, do claim to coach, practice, and facilitate. And I'm trying to give back to industry, not industry, society in a way by joining AD Action, where Ravi Pratap, our other alumni, is the director, India and Southeast Asia. So till now, I have written about 3 books. These are 3 books published, and as you can see, these go by the year under it. And if you think that year is good to go over here, then you will find that I have planned till 23 every year which book is going to come up. Now, I do this because I believe that you have to publicly put your commitment out to make things happen. And what I'm going to share and getting an opportunity today is the book that is going to be published on 2023 is Simplifying Life. So I'm going to share some part of lessons that I have learned. Many of you may not know, but people do meditation and yoga. I do doodling. And doodling is another way of concentrating and meditating. In fact, there's a joke in corporate life that if in a meeting I was not doodling, I was not concentrating enough. In fact, the managing director had questioned me on that. I don't see you doodling. Are you listening? So this is something kind of a quirk. This is known about it, and I still put out one doodle every week on the site. I do certain kind of activity. This is also activity within our own group, somewhere done in Bhopal, some time back. Old picture. I'm slightly much thinner now, thanks to people telling me things. So this is my world. My world is me, I, myself, within a professional and a personal self, social self, and family self. And my whole life, what I have been doing is living up to expectations of others, of my own, of my peer group, and getting different kind of experiences, which has allowed me to crystallize into some part of my learning and core. And if you remember the title, it was Rules That I Have Understood Late in My Life. And this is primarily coming from a Abiti and a Jagbiti kind of a base. And we know that we need not to experience everything to learn everything. My life, very simple. It's a education which has taken me about 50% of time from till the education and 50% in professional, if you can see over there. And in towns also, I've been on a metro for half of my life and non-metro in half of my life. And half of my life I have been married and half of my life I have been bachelor. So it's a very 50-50 life that I'm here talking to you all. And what is interesting to know is you see these dots on this. These are certain milestones that happen in your life, which make you think about what is it, why you are doing what you're doing, and why should you be going in that path. So my learnings are based on very simple thing. I'm one of those people who don't think about past because I look and try to concentrate about writing the next chapter of my life because I can't do anything about the past of my life. Past is gone. I can't control the outcome. I can't control the reactions. But what I can control is the future. So I do exercise. I do exercise every year in looking back in my life to look at what have I learned. And some of these learning that I'm going to share with you sound common sense. We are short of time, but each of them has a story and an episode. Why that is important in life. And don't blame me if the visuals do not go with it because they are all pirated and sourced. So what I do, and you can do that exercise anytime on your own. If you were to write your autobiography and the publisher says it can only have 5 chapters, it can only have 5 incidents of your life, what will be your life be all about? When you are constrained to pick up 5, do this exercise and do it every 2 or 3 years and you will know that there's a lot in your life that you can introspect upon. And I do this exercise in a session called Brand Eye, which I am right now opening to everybody and anybody, saying that if you can guarantee 25 people to participate, college, institute, or otherwise, I will take a free session for any one of you. Okay. Now, learning 1. You can be the best you can. You cannot be anybody else. In life, we all are unique. Let's not try to idolize anybody. Let's not try to be like anybody. None of us can be SV Arya, and our beloved SV Arya could not have been Sanjeev Kotla. We cannot be each other. Let's all be just try to be as good as we are. In your life, you require in your
Sanjeev, please unmute yourself.
Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Am I back?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello,
Yes,
can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So in your you require a social or a family friend to bounce off your thoughts, a friend in your profession, and a friend in your team. I've realized that many times we carry our stress because we are not able to bounce off. So a friend that you can talk about each and everything in your life you require. For me, fortunate, I had Subir Viswas from our batch and Prasan. These are two friends, I can say, whom I open out completely and talk about whatever I have to. Please, please, please do not get into your profession, do not get into your work life so much that you don't have time on yourself. Please, please have a hobby. Please have something that is a खुराक, जिसे हम बोलते हैं ना खुराक है. So for me, for example, this is 403rd week that I'm writing my Wednesday column without a drop of a single week, or about 100th of the week that I'm putting my Instagram doodle every week. That's my passion. That's my hobby. That's the way I operate. Biggest learning, हम सब लोग स्वर्ग चाहते हैं, पर मरना कोई नहीं चाहता. This is a learning that came at Dainik Bhaskar, that if you want to go to heaven, be willing to die. सब कुछ करने के लिए तैयार होना चाहिए, मरने के लिए तैयार होना चाहिए, तभी स्वर्ग मिलेगा. And Dainik Bhaskar as a group, I'm fortunate that they live this philosophy. If they go into some market, they will do everything possible to ride over there. We all take decisions, and that's natural for us to require. But as a manager, I've learned that information changes. We are only expected to take a decision based on the information we have and be clear about giving the best of it. Information change any which way. None of us have control on the outcome. केवल समय के पास जवाब है कि आपको क्या रिजल्ट होना है. So just take the decision and then forget about it. Then move forward, go back and write the new chapter. But remember, all your past decisions influence your future process. And then don't worry about any person. लोगों का काम है कहना. You're only answerable to yourself. Yeah, you live in a society. शर्मा जी का बेटा क्या कहेगा या वर्मा जी बाहर क्या कहेंगे, ये तो हम सब सुनते रहेंगे. But my philosophy is people who matter don't mind, and people who mind don't really matter. And if you have taken that out of Three Idiots, give yourself a clap. Simple चीज है. धोखा वही दे सकता है जिस पे विश्वास होता है. तो मैं नहीं कह रहा कि आप विश्वास करना बंद कर दो, पर अगर आपको कोई धोखा देता है तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी खुद ले लो. दूसरे को ब्लेम नहीं करो, सिचुएशन को ब्लेम नहीं करो, लोगों को ब्लेम करना छोड़ दो. और एक और चीज है, जिनको बहुत ज्यादा दोस्त मानते हो उनसे ही बड़ा धोखा मिलता है. मैं जब इंडिपेंडेंट अपना ब्रांड एडवर्टाइजरी शुरू किया, so at that time I was depending on a lot of people that I knew that business will come from them. It didn't come from them. It came from people who respected you not for the position you held in the corporate, but you knew what you could deliver. At the end, forget any institute, forget anything. You are only what you deliver. And life that way becomes an entrepreneur journey. One good learning that I've come to, and it's a very good thing that I learned in IIM again. Perfection is the biggest myth. There's nothing called perfection. Even God is still trying to perfect the nature. Forget about perfection. Like the books when I wrote, and 1 week later read it and then say no. And this sort of delays till you take a time and consider saying that perfection will not happen. Forget about perception and perfection over there. Because people talk about practice makes you perfect. It doesn't make you perfect. A perfect practice makes you perfect. And then also, you cannot guarantee what will happen. Rahul went out today. Rohit went out today. Kohli went out today. Till the time I saw, where is perfection? Where is practice? But just give it your time. What happens when you do look for perfection? You are starting to look for excuses. You know that you are not confident. You cannot go forward. You think you have some kind of a fear of failure, fear of what people will say, and you procrastinate. You delay your decision making, which is almost suicidal, which is the most sinful thing that you can do. But go ahead, yeah, do it. ज्यादा क्या होगा? कुछ तो नहीं होगा. कुछ तो अभी भी नहीं हो रहा था. तो go ahead and do it. मतलब वो जबलपुरी अंदाज में डार्क कमरे में लड़की को आंख मारना बंद कर. आप तो खुश हो गए, उसको पता भी. और अगर प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन से डर लगता है तो भाई एक सिंपल सी उसकी पिल है कि सुबह सुबह एक फ्रॉग खा ले. एंड ईट द फ्रॉग का सिंपल मतलब ये है कि जो काम करने का मन ना हो या जो काम करने का मन नहीं हो, जो काम करना ना चाहते हो, उसको सबसे पहले करो. बाकी काम अपने आप अच्छे हो जाएंगे. क्योंकि जो एक आदमी कर सकता है वो कोई भी कर सकता है. You could be a Neeraj Chopra, but you need to practice with that way. You could be Sanjeev Garg, you could be Abhinav, you could be Professor Arya, but do you have that kind of a dedication practice? Anybody can do whatever anybody else can do. Only going to heaven require a willingness to die. And please do remember, even whatever you are doing and whatever stage you go, कुछ चीजें impossible रहेंगी. तो उसको छोड़ के अपना दिमाग खराब नहीं करना. If the thing is impossible, try to make it possible or know your limitation. Every one of us has our limitation and there's no point that we try to break limitations. जिंदगी एक है, थोड़ा ऐश भी करो, थोड़ा आराम भी करो, थोड़ा शिद्दत भी करो, थोड़ा काम भी करो. और हमारी जो गट फीलिंग है ना, उस पर थोड़ा बहुत विश्वास करो. क्योंकि गट फीलिंग इज कहां से आती है? गट फीलिंग अगर आप सोल को मानते हो, आप पुनर्जन्म को मानते हो, तो ये कहीं पे एक कंप्यूटर है जिसमें बैक डेटा है. गट फीलिंग वहां से आती है. मैं मानता हूं, उस पर विश्वास करो. एंड टाइम नहीं है इसका एक्सक्यूज कभी मत दे. क्योंकि जो करना चाहते हो उसके लिए तुम्हारे पास हमेशा टाइम रहता है. हमेशा टाइम रहेगा. The only thing you have to do is plan, prioritize, and make a discipline of yourself. For 6 days a week, I do doodle between 9 to 10 in the night. For 5 days a week, I at least write 1 hour. Bring a discipline, and you'll find everything starts becoming possible. At the end, last slide that I want to share. अगर किसी के लिए तुम्हें कुछ नहीं है ना, तो अपने लिए रखो. You are the CEO of I Incorporated, and your first responsibility is to yourself to develop your brand I, or be branded by default. And you can see I put on the bottom saying that please connect me if you want to have a free session of this for your team and yourself. I'll be more than willing to do and help you out. Because just one thing, if all of us are selfish enough to do our job properly, the society will benefit by itself. That's what I want to share with you. I will be open for discussion if moderator believe that we will do after each presentation or later on. And this is 2 offers that I'm making right now. One is if you have 25 people interested in brand I will do a free session for you and your team. If the people in the team are interested to put a book out of their experience on agriculture, engineering, their impact life, I will curate it. I've already done it for my batch of 87. Okay. And of course, market myself. No? So if you have any problem, and you want a consultation on brand and marketing, please do connect with me. Thank you. I hope I'm well within time to support it. This is what I wanted to share with you. There are some learnings, but one warning. मेरे पे जो रूल अप्लाई होते हैं जिनसे मेरे को फायदा हुआ है, जरूरी नहीं कि आपकी जिंदगी में वही रूल अप्लाई हो और उससे आपको फायदा. Please choose your rules yourself. Please share your own learning, make your own fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. It was highly enlightening especially we have a lot of students who will be benefited with your speech. Yeah, clapping is something which all of us are supposed to do.
Thank you.
In fact, today we have almost 92 members present here. Just to brief how we started this webinar, in a WhatsApp group, we had almost 200 guys, and every day a lot of crap was being exchanged. Every day you find some political posts were being exchanged. And we realized that each 200 of them, each one was having almost 20 years of experience in different fields. So if you total it up, it is 4,000 years of experience in just simple ordinary WhatsApp group of agriculture engineers. 4,000 years of experience in one group is a huge. So that's when we thought of bringing one by one our fellow alumni and listen to them and share their experiences. And it was wonderful to hear from Sanjeev. Now, I would welcome Mr. Ashwin, who is again from the media field and who is heading G Televisions. So I will request Bharat Khusre to introduce him and briefly so that he can present his journey farming in the field of media field.
Thank you, sir. I think I am audible to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. Ashwin Gargav, he is BTech from our college in the batch 1994 to 98. And he has gone into a very different line. Kotnala sir, while showing his slides, he told that one of the picture was pirated. So this problem arises with everyone, whether someone in teaching or in other line. We are just downloading the YouTube pictures and then we are showing. So media is also an equally important line for us. And so I don't think he is out of context in this presentation. And he has got a very nice experience, more than 20 years experience. He has worked with channels like National Geographic, Fox, HBO, then Turner International, and presently he is Vice President, DTH Business G Entertainment Limited. He is also a cricket commentator, and he made a commentary in the IPL Session 2 at South Africa, if I'm not wrong, in the year 2009. And apart from that, he is also into TV commentary, and which may sound very different for many of here that after passing agriculture engineering where he has gone. But I think he is still relevant to us, and it will be very nice to have him and and share his experiences to us. So I now hand over to Mr. Ashwin Gargav. And one more thing, just before I hand over, you may not be knowing, many of present over here may not be knowing Ashwin, but many of here may be knowing his wife. She is also a very big name in the field of art. His wife is Neha Gargav, and many of you must have seen the picture like the Lion King or the Orange is the New Black. She is the voice artist in these two pictures. And the senior people who are 40 plus, they must have enjoyed the Rangoli during the time when Didi was very famous. And presently the Rangoli program which is going on, Neha Gargav is the anchor. So she is also a big name. So I thought that I should include with his introduction. So Ashwin, now I think you should take over from me. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes, you are.
very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Khusre Saab, for the introduction. First of all, good evening to all the seniors. I'm privileged to have Dr. Tekchandani sir, under whom I was lucky to do my project in final year. And we have seniors from not in terms of extreme ends, not in terms of age, but also in terms of geography. You know, we have somebody like Nayak sir from Melbourne, to Lalit sir from US. So it's good to we have a platform where we can interact. And I have got my teachers also here, Dr. Atul Srivastava sir. Lucky enough to interact with him. Nema sir, Gupta sahab. So I thanks to the opportunity. Good evening to my juniors, and welcome to all my juniors who are present. I hope there are many, because this session would be insightful for them. I'm still a little salt and pepper, so I don't intend to give advices to all seniors, and with their ashirwad, I definitely tend to pass on my experience and knowledge to people who can use it in day-to-day life, and try to excel in wherever and whatever they're doing. I would also like to thank ND Sahab, Nagin Dwivedi sir, and Kusre Sahab and Praveen Sharma sir for giving me opportunity to speak. I'm a little junior in this group, and it's good to interact with a lot of people. This is a great initiative of web series under honored Professor S.V. Arya Memorial web series, and this is a great initiative, and I think this will go much farther as the time process, and this is a great opportunity for us to know each other, interact with each other, and be in touch. And thirdly, also a very happy Independence Day to all of you. And I'll share one interesting fact. A few days back, I got a call from one of my friends, and he's in the app business, and they said, Ashwin, can you do us a video with your child that what freedom means to you? So I was thinking, and I said freedom, and we recorded the video and shared with him. So freedom means what? And I was thinking, like, freedom means to have no expectation, or freedom means to have wings like bird, do whatever you want to do, go wherever you want to do, and all of that. But that also kept me intriguing what actually the freedom means. Those who have actually fought the freedom struggle. हम तो free हैं. We are in the world where we are not talking about freedom. We are talking about liberation. We are talking about, I would say, it's a kind of luxury. It's not freedom. Freedom we already have. But people who have actually struggled and got us freedom. So this is an opportunity to thank all our Swatantrata Senanis and all our people who have fought and got us freedom today. And we are lucky to chat and interact freely. So ऐसे ही फ्रीडम हमें ना 1994 में मिली, जो हम अपने पेरेंट्स के क्लचेस से फ्री हुए, और वी केम टू जबलपुर. Yeah. So I remember what fascinates me in Jabalpur in the very first day, where we are all aspiring, young and energetic, and came out of college and free to have our life without our parents. And when I came in there, the first thing that I was fascinated was a chair which has got only one hand. I don't know how many of you can relate to, but there was one chair in counseling when we were doing our form filling and all of that. It has got one chair with one handle where the pad kind of shape is there and you can write, and other places where you can just go off. And 20 years now from that period, when I am looking back to that, and I can bring in a great analogy. When you are in college, or when you're in school rather, your both hands are on your desk, which is like your hands are resting. And when we come to college, or when I came to the engineering college, my one hand was on desk and one hand was free. Free in the sense it was ready to take on responsibility. And now, 20 years down, my both hands are free. I am on phone, I am on field, I am talking to people, or on laptop. I don't need to rest my hands. So this is like you're full of responsibilities now. So I will tell you a story about how this transition happened from one free hand, or probably a one hand resting, to where currently where both hands are up in the air and trying to do and make do the living. So it would be a good session. I think I don't want to talk about myself. I want to talk about what are these key skills. Especially I'm trying to wave my way and farm my way. It's still work in progress. Difficult when I came from agriculture background to get into media. But I'm still trying to maneuver my things and trying to do best as I could in this field. And I thought I'll share my key assets or probably experiences that I've learned and which could be very useful, not only for aspiring students, probably who are looking for the career in media or any other field for that matter, or people or our revered seniors who are children's or their relatives or friends who wants to do something. So will not take much of time, but please, if I am going overboard, do let me know. So I'll start with after passing out from Jabalpur, I did my MBA from Bharati Vidyapeeth, which was linked to Pune University. I did my MBA from there, and then got into job in Magna Publishing, where Kotnala Saab, I see there he has worked in print in DNA and Dainik Bhaskar, so I can relate to that. So print was my first job, and I got a job into Stardust magazine, which was like we have ever seen and we have read in colleges and all of that. We used to fancy pictures of those actresses and heroes. But then I got an opportunity to, land up a job there. It was not a highly paid job, but the best part of that job was that they were providing the accommodation with it. So my first posting was Mumbai, where I was exposed to corporate world and been trained in all different fields of publishing. And then they posted me as a first landing to be responsible for distribution of magazines in Bangalore. And our office was in Barton Center on MG Road in Bangalore. It was one of the poshest area in Bangalore, and I was enjoying. A house was there and good life. So before I start from here, the 5 key learnings which I want to highlight today, which could be relevant, and I think many of them was covered by Kotnara sir. And I think I have used it. Somehow I have to use more, but some are already part of my my experiences. The first one is your attitude toward work, which is very important, I have felt. As in whatever you do, even if you're doing farming or you're doing teaching or you're doing into any business, if your attitude toward work is no one is judging you, you have to do as if you want or you expect someone else to do the job. And I have always kept this thing in my mind that my attitude to my job should not be related to my KRA. It should be how I expect others to do that job. And then I'll tell you how these experiences have helped me grow in this field and how I have excelled and trying to learn more on that field. Second is be creative and innovative. Be creative, innovative is not necessarily you need to produce a content or do anything. Innovation means in whatever field you are, how can you do, because you are better equipped from your seniors, better probably I would say disposal of knowledge. You have got a knowledge from your seniors and then you can add on your intelligence to it. So how could you do a certain thing either innovatively or creatively? That means a simple thing, where you can have alternate way to reach there, or probably ways and means to reduce a cost in what you're doing. So that is also a creative way of finding a way, an alternative where you can do certain things differently and add value to whatever you're doing. Third is reskill and relearn. It has got too much relevance in today's world. The things are changing pretty fast with digitalization. What we can assume has been changing really fast in India. Like I'll tell you, in 2000, when I was in television in 2005, we used to compare ourselves with television in US. And we used to talk about how would we move from analog signal or a cable operator to a DTH and telecom and all of that. But we have taken a leap from there and we have skipped everything and got onto a telecom and we are much ahead and farther than US. US people are still not hooked onto WhatsApp and chatting and texting and all of that. We have taken leaps and bounds in that. So things are changing pretty fast than what you can imagine. So you need to stay relevant to wherever you are. One need to reskill, relearn, unlearn. And all of these are very important. And this can be applied in any field, in whichever field one is, be it someone who's really old to get hands of a television or probably use of emails and stuff and texting, to someone who's recently in my age. I'm still trying to dabble with some of the things like AI and ML are coming into my life. And how would I use that? Otherwise, I'll become irrelevant to my job. And after 2-3 years, I'll be thrown out. Or probably I will be handling something irrelevant. So that is third. Fourth is your interpersonal skill, which I believe is about dealing with people, is about communicating, is about be clear to what you want in life. As Kotnara Sahab said, it is you that you as a brand is very important. and how you love yourself. And if something you're not liking, communicate with your seniors or your friends or whoever it is, and which will be a very good state to make you happy in your life later on. And then I would say two more to add is, don't procrastinate anything. If you have to do something, do it now, because that will only lead to a stress later on. Yeah. And the last is dream. Always dream, and dream high. Always aim for sky. You may land up somewhere, you may fail, but dream is something that once you aspire, that will actually make you wake up next day and try to do something to achieve that. So that is how these 4-5 skills which I've learned in my experience or in my career, and which I have I've embraced those changes and try to bring it in my life. So first example, when I went to Bangalore in print media, so I felt that after initial 1.5 year of honeymoon period, you felt like, wow, what I'm doing. I've traveled to Mysore, to Chikmagalur, to Dharwad, to all of that, distributing magazine. And then I used to think about where I'm heading my career to. And I found that, print is something that is going down. And what people are getting hooked to is television. So print is, people don't like to read, and it is also have a lot of hindrances in terms of people reading, or probably know to read English and Hindi and all of that. But people are getting hooked to television. So it is the right time for me to move to television. And that's where I have applied my knowledge and I would say my interpersonal skills. I have made my network, because it is very difficult to change industry, to be honest. If you are in one industry, you get typecasted. So when you have to make from a movement, though it's media, but media, print and media television is very different, the way they operate. And when I have to move that, I started meeting people who are in television. I started networking with them. I started to learn that what are the skills that are required in television and how can I move there. As well as, I would say, I would keep on reading and getting, more of knowledge in terms of if I get an opportunity to, but focused on what I was doing. And whatever I was doing, I want to be good to that. So one fine day, what happened, I have let known, like, as I said, that, communicate. So I've let my bosses know that this is what I'm looking at future. And Bangalore wasn't that media hub, and it was Mumbai, which was the media hub. So I want to come to Mumbai back. And one fine day, CEO of Magna Publishing, Mr. Narihira, called. And to my boss, he called my boss and saying that I have an opening and I want to move one of the recent guys to either in Pune. So he said, yes, my lady boss was there, and she said, yes, Ashwin is there and who has interest in moving to that side of the world. So he called me, he said, Ashwin, I have an opening, do you want to move? I said, yes, sir, where? And he said, I am sending you to Honolulu. So what he meant is, don't ask if I'm giving you something, probably, I am sending you. And then that's how I came to Pune. From Pune, again, it was easier for me to Pune. I made that call that being in Pune, I can go for interviews in Bombay, at least where I want to go. And I made inroads, started applying and making networks and all of that. And one fine day, I got a call for an interview from National Geographic Channel. And it was so exciting to just know that I was getting interviewed there. And then I realized that, it needs a lot of preparation. I made friends in media world there in Pune, make them all magazines. I used to give them free magazines, have a coffee with them, and they used to like it. They used to get all set of magazines from Magna. And that's how I made friendship with them. And then I moved to, then I got opportunity. It was like 4-month-long interviews with different levels, and lucky enough to get into National Geographic Channel. Where I spent 4.5 years. It was brilliant experience of working in a multinational with a lot of freedom to evolve and develop yourself. But I was always true to what I'm doing. So I was always respected and revered for my knowledge and whatever I do, and people know me for that. After National Geographic, I thought of changing that. This is like quite boring and I want to make a move. And then at that time, I thought telecom is something which is evolving. So let me go and join telecom. So I happened to move to Reliance Communication. Unfortunately, what they promised and what I got wasn't in line to what I wanted in life. And in 3 months, I was thinking that I'm not happy here. So what do I do? And one fine day, I got a call from one friend of mine who has worked with me in National Geographic in a different department. And he said, I am joining this company and they're looking for someone and I think you're the right fit. So that's why when I say, when you are good to your job, your attitude toward job is not only when you're senior CEO, it is the people around who you don't even know will watch you. Yeah. So, and then they are your representative somewhere else. And that's how, he called me and we have been interviewed. And then I got into Turner. Turner is a big brand in US. They have launched, Imagine TV. NDTV was first, which the stakes were taken by Turner. Turner also runs Cartoon Network, Pogo, Warner Brothers, Adult Swim, a lot of channels, and they ventured into Hindi television. So it was a great experience. But every time I have made changes in what I was handling. And here I got into, from a niche channel of National Geographic, I went into a Hindi general entertainment, which is the heartbeat of India. It's like Star and Sony and Z's of the world. So when I joined Imagine, the role, I always been communicative with my boss that I want to handle very challenging roles and different roles that help me grow. And I was expected to handle India, West and South, and also given opportunity to launch this channel in US, or rather international expansion, where I have no network, no idea, and I have to go blank. And then I did my research about the country, the population, Indian diasporas over there, and was lucky enough to find partners. And we launched channel in US on Dish TV. We were discussing with Comcast at that time. We launched channel in Canada on Bell and Shaws and of the world. We launched channel in UK, Middle East, APAC, and all of that. And we established a business of around, $10 million at that time in 2010, with just 2-3 years of experience. And different models in different, territories that we have, where somewhere in UK we launched a free-to-air channel, and in US it was a pay channel. And it was really, eyed with a lot of interest at that time. Worked there for 5 years. Then Turner wanted to sell that channel, so it sold it. They shut down eventually because revenues weren't coming in India. And then I got a call from HBO. HBO was looking another different role. They were looking for a channel. HBO has always been sold in US as an a la carte channel. They were never bundled. So you'd pay a $6.99 and buy that channel, and not bundling is not allowed. And India in 2012, HBO wanted to enter India for HBO Hits and Defined. They're two very established channels, and wanted to do unbundling in India. And I was, went through all the process of grind interviews and all of that. And I was heading the India distribution for them in HBO. We managed that distribution for 3 years, but with changing times, we sold that channel to Hotstar. And from there, I moved to Z, where I'm currently handling the DTH business of Z channel. Again, different profile. I'm handling around 65 odd channels of Z, all genres, from regional to, be it in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Sarthak, Z Sarthak, to Z Bengali, Z Bengal Cinema, Marathi, Hindi, HD channels. So around 65 plus channels. And I handle responsibility of 1,000 plus crore. Distributing this channel. My prime objective is to get revenues by selling these channels to platforms like Tata Sky, Airtel, Dish D2H, Sun Direct. I handle the DTH business. There's a cable arm also. And also to, now with the new regime, you would have heard that new regime has come where you can select channels and pay for the channels that you want to. I am giving responsibility to retain subscribers and add subscribers. And we keep on doing something innovatively, as in we launched one movie platform called Zplex, where you can buy, in pandemic we've launched, where you can buy movies at your home, like theatrical releases that you can see. That's work under process. We have recently launched. Apart from that, as Kutnala sir has said, I'm also a cricket commentator. That's, if I have not been where I am today, I'm sure I would have been a cricket commentator. That's the whole desire I have, that I've missed opportunities. I've never done that. But as Atul sir has said, that those cricket matches I have played in, I've commentated in Jabalpur, but I kept my passion, and I still do club level and I would say corporate level cricket matches over the weekends whenever I get time. Also, I keep on dabbling with a lot of things in sports. I'm trying to create some business around that, and also want to associate with sports as my second half begins. That's my desire to get into. And so I keep that passion alive, which helps me de-stress and living a life where I want to make more inroads and keep on learning. In fact, when I was told that, I was looking at these pictures of Dr. S.V. Arya, and he has done his degree from University of Illinois. Unknowingly, last year when the pandemic happened, I happened to do one course from Coursera in digital in marketing world. And this, I have done it from University of Illinois. So that's the connection we also have. So it was great to interact and share my experience. I'm sure I was rushing a bit, but if there is anything anyone wants to know about media is a great field. It has got great opportunity, not only for creative people who wants to write, somebody who's a writer, somebody who's a lyricist, or probably, so that is one field. But apart from that, there are plethora of opportunities in media in terms
Actually,
of.
we have crossed the time.
Yes, I'm just completing in a minute. So somebody who wants to get into media in sales, marketing, administration, leadership, there is role in advertising, there is role in content creation, there is role in content editing, which is about voicing and picture graphics and all of that. There is role in finance, there is role in and you don't need to, in today's world, you don't need any platform or anyone to associate with. You can create your content and upload now directly on digital platforms like Instagram, TikToks, and all of that. So you can, there's an opportunity where you can create a name for yourself. And if I'll be really happy if there is anyone who needs any help in this field, I would be happy to share my knowledge and guide them at utmost level where I can do, and would be happy to share my knowledges again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Ashwin.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
A proud feeling to have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Chandani, sir, thank you so much.
So over to Atul sir.
Praveen.
Now, yes, sir.
Okay. This guy Ashwin, a very handsome kid, man.
Yeah, no, agriculture engineers are now very smart these days.
He's a very good sportsman also, sir. Very good sportsman.